Hello everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back finally with another review. Yes, it has been a really long time since my last video, which was all the way back in September, guys. That was when I reviewed, I believe, the Jurassic World Archaeornithomimus figure from Mattel. And yeah, that was all the way back in September, so it's been a pretty good while since my last video. But I'm really happy to finally be back to do another video this close to Christmas, surprisingly, because this is already December, guys, and my last video was in September, so it's pretty crazy, but very, very awesome. I have something to review today. Obviously, I'm starting off my intro here at night because I'm really wanting to open this up so I can fiddle around with it before we do a proper review of it during the daytime. But anyways, guys, we have a brand new figure to take a look at today. I believe it was just released, or at least very close to being released, because I haven't seen anyone else who actually showed off this figure yet. So this is really cool. It's not a Jurassic World figure, surprisingly. It's actually a Godzilla figure, specifically from Playmates Toys, one of the newer Monsterverse releases. And today we are taking a look at the awesome and brand new Titanus Scylla from Playmates Toys, from their Monsterverse toy line. So this is the new Monsterverse toy line that we've gotten since the New Empire last year ended. This is kind of like what we're going to get up until Supernova in 2027. So we've gotten some really cool figures. I believe the only other one I've reviewed from this lineup so far is just the Frostvark, but we got two newer figures coming out. This is the only one that I've found so far, and it is Titanus Scylla. So this is one of the new Titans that were introduced in Godzilla King of the Monsters back in 2019, and then she later showed up again in Godzilla Kong The New Empire, which she was killed by Godzilla, which was a pretty sweet scene if you ask me. Super cool. And this is one of my favorite Titans, original monsters from the Monsterverse, and I was really hoping that Playmates would make a figure of this monster, and here we are. I'm really glad they did, because I was surprised we didn't get one from the New Empire toy line last year, but here we are. Part of the Monsterverse toy line, and I'm really stoked to have Scylla in my collection. I know there's the really good Haya toys one out there, but this is the only one that they're better to afford. They're much more affordable is what I was trying to say. But I'm just really happy to have Scylla in my collection. I'm just happy to have her in hand. And the packaging just looks great. You got the awesome Monsterverse packaging with Mothra, the Ion Dragon, King Ghidorah, Godzilla, and Kong right there. A nice, sweet look at the figure, which looks awesome. Then down here, you got the title of the logo of which this certain character is from. Yes, she was from King of the Monsters, but I feel like she was a lot more prominent in the New Empire. You got a good look at her and her colors and all that, so she's obviously from the New Empire, at least the one where she was obliterated by Godzilla. It says fully posable and articulated. I mean, it's pretty articulated for a Playmates figure. I know it's not going to be Haya standards, but it's good for Playmates standards anyway. And you got a really nice, sweet render of Scylla right there, looking awesome. Then you got the name Titanus Scylla. Here on the side, you got the Godzilla Kong The New Empire. You got the Playmates logo down there. Nice render of her on the side right there. And in the back, you got a really nice render of the figure, looking awesome. Fully posable and articulated, Monsterverse, some nice caution tape deco right there. And then you got the title of the movie she's from, and a cool little bio, because I always love reading these. It says, Scylla strikes with crushing claws and lightning fast moves, armored and ready for ambush. This deadly titan feeds on the fallen and leaves only bones behind. So that is really cool. Kind of a cool little bio about explaining what there is to know about this titan, because there isn't really a whole lot to know, at least explained in the movies. So that's kind of really cool to kind of base it off of that. And then you got some other figures from this somewhat newer wave. It says collect them all. You got Thermonuclear Godzilla, or just Burning Godzilla. Kong from Kong Skull Island, which they've released quite a few times already. They got the Blue Mothra from King of the Monsters, the Frostvark, which we reviewed previously, And then we got the brand new Rodan, guys. Oh my gosh, we're finally getting Rodan from Playmates. He was also a monster I was really hoping Playmates would make, and I'm glad. I'm grateful that they are finally making a Rodan. And what a great way to show off some new figures by just doing Scylla and Rodan as of right now. Really awesome. So I'm really stoked to get Rodan because he's definitely my favorite monster within the Monsterverse. So hopefully I will find Rodan somewhere down the line. But hey, Scylla is just as good. So enough with the rambling, guys. I know it's been a good while since my last video, so this intro is kind of a little bit long. But basically, here's the package of Scylla. And yeah, I'm just really excited to take a closer look at her. Now let's go ahead and skip to daytime and take a closer look at this awesome figure. Alrighty, so here we have Scylla out of the package, and wow, this figure is phenomenal. I absolutely love this figure from Playmates. Playmates did an excellent job with this Scylla and taking it out of the package and just taking a good look at it. Yeah, Playmates knocked it out of the park, and for something that, like I said before, that's not from like Haya or one of those, you know, super articulated, you know, figures, they did a really good job on this one. And especially for the price point that it's at too, I think it's definitely worth it, especially for a new Titan to be released from Playmates. But just taking a look at it, it looks just like the one from the Monsterverse. Well, specifically the one from the New Empire, because that was the one we got to see a good look at this Titan colors and details and everything. And I think Playmates captured the look of this Titan very nicely, with all of the detail and the coloration and everything. And yeah, I think they did a splendid job on this figure. You can definitely see, as we take a closer look here at the face, the classic cephalopod-like face on Scylla, which is kind of weird because Scylla is like a mix between a crustacean and a cephalopod. So it's kind of hard to determine like what family group she's actually part of, you know. But as you can see with her face right here, it looks really nice. You got the nice little black eye right there, nice little part of like the shell on top of her head with some nice little bumps on there as well, and the numerous amount of tentacles that she has. And I like how they're all posed in a different way, as if they're like kind of like, you know, each individually moving, kind of like what you see in the film itself. So they look really nice. Not a whole lot of detail on the face. It's kind of smooth, but it's not the worst thing in the world. This is Playmates, so you're not going to get like high level detail, but it's good for this type of figure. And you got these little bumps on the head, like I said. So the face looks really nice. The tentacles are not articulated. They are made of a bendier plastic, but they're kind of stuck like this, which is perfectly fine. Then here you got to the back, or at least the shell, which kind of funny. Scylla is basically, if you were to give an ammonite legs, because that's basically what Scylla looks like. Because if you take away the legs, it's basically an ammonite. But the little shell area back here looks really nice. Again, not very detailed, like not very, like a lot of sharp detail all over it. Kind of like what you got on the legs. It's a bit smooth, so kind of like some of the other figures from Playmates. Like if you look at the back of the skull crawler, it's very smooth like this. So not a whole lot of texture going on in here, which is fine. It did look kind of weird when I first saw the images of this figure, but having it in hand, it's not that bad at all. It's very, captures the look of the one from the film, the nice little ridges here on the back, and some secondary rows of ridges that kind of go down, and you got some more little ridges here on the side as well, even here on the front and even here on the back. Got some nice little detail right here with the ridges and the little bumps, very similar to that of a crustacean shell, but it looks really nice, I will say. Not a whole lot going on there, just some minor, very few little details, but pretty nice. And then you got on the underside, it's very basic. You just got some little lined textures or lined sculpt work on the underside right here, so nothing, you know, too crazy, but you know, it gets the job done to get the majority of her body. And then you got her signature 3 legs on each side, so 6 total. Her giant spider-like crab legs, which are really nicely detailed. Like, look at the sculpt work on the legs are very nicely done. They look just like how they are in the movie. And I love the detail that Playmates put into this figure. You can see here even the nice little bumps within this little claw right here, the nice little segments in between each joint, very similar to a crab, which look really nice. You got nice little bumps, nice little texture on the legs right here. As you can see in here, as you move up the leg, you got some more bumps sticking out, kind of like spikes. So yeah, they're very similar to that of a crab. And as they go up, you got some more spikes, some more bumps, just some really nice sculpted detail. Got some more ridges here on this part of the leg as well. Some more finer bumps. Here on the underside, you got some nice little detail on the underside as well. Even here, nice little bumps on this part, and the texture feels really nice as well. Some nice bumps here on the inside. And then, like I said, the claws are looking very nice. And they're all basically the same, just on 6 of the same legs, just on the body. So really nice. The silhouette of Scylla is just super cool and iconic, very unique for the Monsterverse, in my opinion. But yeah, the legs are super detailed, and they're made of like somewhat of a firm plastic. Like, they don't feel light, they just feel kind of hefty, which probably helps with it being able to stand, which is something I was very curious about when I first got this figure. But yeah, like I said, detail is very nice on the legs. Now, can it stand? Yes, it can. And you can even position the legs however you want, but it can stand very nicely, which is probably why the legs feel kind of hefty, to kind of give some weight as it's kind of planted down. And there isn't a whole lot of joints or articulation on the legs, which I thought there'd be a whole lot, but there isn't. The only joints there are is this part where it attaches to the body, and this little joint up here. No joints right here or down here, which I know this is not like a higher quality collector figure, but for these type of toys, it works. And I guess it kind of works how it's not like there's no joints right here, because that might, you know, alter the way it can stand. So having only limited amount of articulation towards up here probably allows it to stand like this. So as of right now, I might not have to worry about this guy falling over when I display her on the shelf. So that is a huge plus right there for Playmates. Articulation wise, they're all roughly the same. So as we take this joint, there's a little bit, surprisingly, it doesn't go up or down too much. Well, I guess it's kind of wobbly. I guess they can kind of move, but the joints can make it move basically side to side. And then you got this joint up here. At least that's as far as it can go, like that. And you can make it go down. So just a little bit of forward and backwards. And look at that. And it can rotate too. So you got some nice little posability with Scylla here. And even with this joint here on the body, you can twist it. So you can get some nice little movements of the arms. So you can make her like smack things with her claws, which is really cool. And all of the legs are pretty much the same. So like this joint here, can move basically the same. Kind of hard to figure out which way it's gonna go, but it works. And you can see some more joints all over here, all over the body. So really nice basic articulation on the Scylla figure. Colors, the colors are really good. They match the one from the New Empire very nicely, the orange and yellowish colors. One of the things I really do like is how the top layer, the top part of Scylla is like this orange color, but then on the underside it's like this yellow, maybe except for the body, but it's like this yellow color. So it's got like the two different color tones on its skin or body, much like a crab. Like I keep on saying, they're kind of like two different tones of colors. They're red or orange on the top side, and then on the underside it's like maybe like a lighter beige color, maybe even yellow. But it works for Scylla because she is kind of like a water titan as well, in addition to being terrestrial. Then you got like this brownish purplish tone for like the top of her head shell right here, and on top of the shell over here. Very basic, just kind of applied on there, and it kind of fades into the orange, but it adds some nice little texturing, no color difference to it. And you got more of that purplish color on here on the side of the legs where the legs attach to the body. And then here on the face, you got a light gray color around the eye, which the eye is a dark black color, which highlights it very well. And then the entire tentacles here are like almost like a lighter pinkish brown tone, but there's a lot of different colors on this Scylla, and they all complement each other very nicely. So yeah, the colors are really good on this one. So yeah, that's basically all I have to really go. Oh wait, there is another articulation joint. It's here on the head, which I almost forgot. The head has a ball joint on it, so you can make the head look down, which is really nice. You can have her look down at her prey or something, and then you can move it back up to its signature neutral pose, which is probably where I'm gonna keep it at. But it can also move side to side, so you can make her look left and right, which is really cool. Really nice posability on this one. And then they can also rotate. So you got some nice little rotation. You can make the head move any way you want. So really nice articulation in the head as well as the legs. I mean, they work for the most part. So that's a plus for me. And she stands, so that's awesome. Now, real quickly, before we end the video, here we have, we're just gonna do one little comparison, and that's Godzilla, because this is the only one that she pretty much interacts with without the entire Monsterverse. Movie-wise anyway. So here is Scylla compared to Godzilla, and they look really sweet together. You can recreate that iconic, very brief fight from the New Empire where Godzilla absolutely obliterates poor Scylla from destroying a city. So these two look really great together scale-wise, and yeah, I'm really happy with how these two look. So everyone, that's probably about to wrap it up for this review of Scylla. I really recommend this figure for those of you who maybe can't really afford the higher figures like myself. These Playmates ones are like the next best thing, and I'm really glad I've been able to collect these ever since Playmates got the license to do the Monsterverse figures. So I'm really happy that they're continuing to grow with all these different monsters, and I'm looking forward to seeing what new ones they're going to give us in the future. But yeah, Scylla is great detail, great sculpt, great colors, decent articulation, but it works for this figure, and it can stand, so that's a plus right there. So yeah, for those of you who are Monsterverse fans who like to collect these Playmates figures, I highly recommend buying Scylla, and I think she's already out, so go ahead and check your stores to see if you can find her. I'm on the lookout for Rodan next, yeah, really happy with this figure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys again for the next video, which will probably be my Christmas haul, since Christmas is this week. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys again for the next video.